Miss Mary with iPhone, you can turn your camera off until the judge calls your case, okay? Miss Mary with iPhone, can you hear me? Okay. Hmm. Okay, good morning, good morning.
Morning,
Good
Your Honor.
morning, Judge.
Morning, Judge.
Morning, sir. Morning, Miss Kim, Murphy, Ms. Desiano. Okay, I think we are ready to proceed. And Miss Greenhouse, we all good? Okay, thank you. Miss Kim, are they waiting for anyone else to come into the courtroom right now?
Yes, they're actually walking in right now.
Okay, we'll just give it a few moments. So I got your, Ms. Kim, I got your checklist of announcements. So I see that quite a few need to speak. Have those been updated or do you still need to speak to quite a few of the defendants?
I need to talk to a few more people. I was able to speak two people out of them.
Okay, and same for you, Mr. White?
Judge, yeah, there will be one. I don't have an offer from the state yet, but position I can go ahead and make an announcements for a few. Position one will be a waiver.
Okay,
3 and 4 will be a plea, and 5 and 6 will be a plea.
all right. And which is the one that you don't have an offer? Which position?
Position 24, Judge.
I'll send that over, Mr. White. It was my understanding that Deputy Falk emailed everyone yesterday with that, but I'll send you a chat.
Yeah, there was an email about it being amended, but no offer.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
All right, no
Send it
problem.
over.
Desiano will send it to you. Ms. Kim, did you have anything to announce right now, or would you want to wait as we move? Go ahead.
29 will be non-negotiated plea.
Okay,
31 will be plea and no price.
okay, all right. I think everyone's in. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Judge Lal, and we are going to proceed with our state all-purpose calendar with the State Court of Fulton County. These are a list of misdemeanor cases which have been pending since their first appearance. At the first appearance, defendants were informed of the charges and bonds have been set. Some individuals have not been able to secure release. So today we're going to get a status of the cases for individuals who are still at the Fulton County Jail. If you're a defendant charged with one or more misdemeanor offense, please remember that you have a right to remain silent. Anything that you choose to say in open court or open virtual court, your statements can and will be used against you in the treatment of your case. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. So today, when I call each case, your attorney will let me know how you would like to proceed as to whether you would like to accept a plea offer and enter a guilty or not guilty plea, a guilty or no contest plea, or whether you'd like to plead not guilty and have your case further notice for trial. Other matters that we'll possibly address are bond modifications and bench warrants. Okay, Ms. Lewis, for some reason, I didn't get a 11 a.m. competency calendar. Did I completely miss it? Oh, you are mute?
No, I can forward it to you. I'll
Yes.
forward you at this point.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, courtroom 2. Mr. Murphy, who's your client?
Gordon Lambert, position 26, and I was hoping to speak to the state about that briefly.
Okay,
And Your Honor, we've requested that case be transferred based on his previous convictions. So we'd be requesting a reset on that. We
Counsel-
haven't heard back from the DA.
I haven't heard back. Okay, with whom can Mr. Murphy speak? If I put y'all in a breakout about this case.
He can speak with me, Your Honor. I'm the only prosecutor here right now, so we'd have to pause, but I'm happy to speak with him.
All right, Mr. Murphy, we'll progress, and as soon as we get a brief pause, I'll give you an opportunity to speak with Mr. Ciano, unless you have another option on the table.
And Mr. Murphy, I think you have my cell phone. If you just want to send me a text, that could work too.
Oh, I had it at the time. It might be buried somewhere, so I'll just,
Okay. I can send you a text.
okay.
All right. Okay, courtroom 2, who should we begin?
Judge, I'm sorry. Good morning. I have a quick announcement for Mrs. Kim. Hey, Miss Kim. I have Miss Jennifer Brown. I was trying to call you, but
Okay, that's position 7 and 9. Would you
You
need
want-
to speak with her?
you want me to call you in courtroom 2?
Yes, please.
Okay.
All right. Okay, I think let's start with someone in courtroom 2.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. We could start with position 3 and 4, Mr. Ronnie Boyd.
Okay, that is with Mr. Tom White. Deputy Francois, if you want to call the Fulton County Jail courtroom 2, this would be a good time. Okay, we are beginning with Ronnie Boyd, position 3 and 4. Mr. Boyd, my name is Judge Lal, and you have 2 cases with us. Position 3 is a bench warrant for failure to appear in court from March 25th of 2024 in case 25 FTA 104. Your underlying case is a charge of criminal trespass under case number 23 CR 6752E. Alleged incident date is October 26, 2023. Mr. Boyd, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Mr. Tom White. This is going to be a plea offer. Mr. Boyd, please raise your right hand for purposes of the plea. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Correct.
Thank you. Ms. Daciano?
Yes, Your Honor. The state will enter an all-pros on position 3 upon entry of the plea to position 4. The recommendation for position 4 is 12 months served, 22 days. Credit for time served, 11 days. Balance suspended. Stay away from the Cascade driving range located at 3520 Cascade Road Southwest. And we'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis NID for purposes of the plea. Nothing further.
So stipulated, Your Honor, nothing further.
All right. Mr. Boyd, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
And have you understood what's going on in your cases?
Yes, ma'am.
Number 7.
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And as I explained to you, if you enter a guilty plea to this charge, you would have to give up your right to a trial in front of a judge or a jury. You will not get the opportunity to go back to court to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence brought against you, and have the state prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Ma'am, I'm understanding. I understand.
I know, but are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no?
No, speak up louder. Are you prepared to give up your right?
Yes. Yes.
Boy, did you understand anything what I just asked you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So how do you plead to one count of criminal trespass?
Guilty.
Your sentence is going to be 12 months to serve 22 days, credit for time served 11 days, balance suspended. Your obligation for this case is over. However, if you return to the Cascade driving range, I guess it's some kind of golf course, located at 3520 Cascade Road in Southwest Atlanta, you will be arrested again. So no golf at that location. Thank you.
Next, we could go to positions 5 and 6, Demario Brown.
Okay. Position 3 will be Noel Frost, and we'll start with Mr. Demario Brown. All right, Mr. Brown, you have 2 matters with us as well. Your original case is for criminal trespass, 24 CR 3894H. Incident date appears to be June 17th of 2024. And the other case is a bench warrant for failure to appear in court on August 26, 2024. You have been advised of your rights, and your attorney is Mr. Tom White. Mr. White, this is going to be a plea as well?
It is, Judge.
All right. And Mr. Brown, for purposes of the plea, do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. Desiano?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's recommendation for position 5 is 12 months served, 66 days, credit for time served, 33 days, balance suspended, stay away from the target at 375 18th Street Northwest in Atlanta, and the state will move to enter a null pros in position 6 upon entry of the plea to position 5. And we'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis and ID for purposes of the plea, nothing further.
Okay. Just as a side note, Ms. Desiano, is Ms. Falk going to take over positions 1 through 21?
Yes, Your Honor, I will.
Didn't want to usurp anyone's role. All right. Mr. White, do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID?
Yes, Your Honor, we do. Nothing further.
All right. Mr. Brown, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No.
Have you understood what's going on in your case?
No.
Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes.
Has it been explained to you that if you decide to plead guilty to criminal trespass, you would have to give up your right to a trial in the future? You will not get a chance to go back to court, to face your accuser, be able to challenge the evidence brought against you, and have the prosecutor prove the charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes.
How do you plead to 1 count of criminal trespass?
Guilty.
You're sentenced 12 months to serve 66 days, credit for time served 33 days, balance suspended. Your obligations for this case is now closed, but you cannot return to the Target store at 375 18th Street in Northwest Atlanta. If you return to that location, you'll be arrested again. Thank you. And
Thank
your bench warrant is dismissed.
Your Honor, I believe that's it for quorum 2 until Kim gets free from her client with ACBC.
Do we have any other cases for Mr. White?
We do, but that will be position number 24 and 25.
And that's the one I need to relay the offer to, Judge, so it shouldn't take long.
All right. You probably have to call down to courtroom 2 as soon as Ms. Kim is available. Is Mr. Murphy still on the Zoom? Mr. Murphy? Ms. Desiano, are y'all communicating via text then, or do y'all do you need me to put you in a breakout?
Your Honor, I sent him a
Breakout
text, but I haven't heard
first.
back. If,
Sorry. I was,
yeah, we probably need a breakout.
yeah, I was texting back when you
All right,
reached out. Breakout room would be great. Thank you.
Miss,
Tom, you could give quorum two a call back at the same numbers.
Got it.
all right. Miss Grace, I think it's Miss Lewis. No,
It's Miss Grace Judge.
Grace, could you put Miss Desiano and Mr. Murphy in a breakout? Let's
Yes,
keep it
ma'am.
as brief as possible, so that Miss Desiano can get back to her cases. And Miss Kim, are we ready to proceed?
No, she's still on the phone, Your Honor, with ACDC.
And Your Honor, if Miss Desiano is still in the breakout, when one of her cases comes up, I can address it if necessary. She was kind enough to cover for me while I had to step out, so I'll
No,
do the same.
no problem, it's very brief. So I'm just waiting for Miss Kim to come back on so we can start with her cases. And then I have two bench warrants. Don't know if Jonathan Freeman is present. Well, he'll come back, maybe he'll show up at 11. We'll just be in a brief recess until Miss Kim gets back on. Let me see. I have a couple of folks here I don't recognize. Mary's iPhone. Are you here for a particular case? And Raven N. Mary's iPhone. Could you identify yourself?
I was on in regards to my daughter's case to see if they were saying anything today, but I did.
What's your daughter's name?
Trishana Russ.
All right, her case is going to be rescheduled to January 28th, 2025. So it won't be today.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Yes,
And-
Your Honor. Ready?
Okay, Raven N, who, could you identify yourself and which case are you here for?
Okay, hi. I'm here for the Adam Allen's case. Just to sit in on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adam Allen's case is going to be reset for trial.
Oh, because he didn't take a guilty plea.
Correct.
Okay, so I'll just leave then.
That'll be fine.
All right, thank you.
Mhm. Okay. All right, Miss Kim, shall we begin with Jennifer Brown at ACDC?
Yes, that's position 7 through 9.
Okay.
Did she take any NOLO for last 5 years? If not, I was wondering if we can qualify her for a NOLO plea.
Miss Kim, let me check.
Thank you.
Durden. Durden.
And that's Jennifer Brown, correct?
Yes,
Correct.
it is.
We may have a pretrial officer also here with us, Miss Hardy.
Yes, Your Honor, it just took me a moment to get into Odyssey. For some reason, Odyssey was acting up a little bit. I don't see a previous use of NOLO. She has 2 prior arrests, both for theft of service, but no disposition. So she is entitled to use NOLO.
For one of them.
And yes, and the state doesn't object to using NOLO on one case, but she would be unable to use it on both.
Okay. Okay, in that case then, which, position 7 or 8? Position 7 was an August 2nd, 2024 incident, and position 8 was an October 21st, 2024 incident.
I would say August, first, the first one, we will use NOLO. NOLO means, it's not guilty, so, Ms. Brown,
No contest.
and the other one's guilty. Okay,
Brown, did you want to speak to your attorney further, or did you understand the distinction between no contest and a guilty plea?
Good morning, Your Honor. I just spoke with the attorney a few moments ago.
All right.
So I do understand what was communicated.
Okay. Shall we proceed, Ms. Kim?
yes, please.
All right. Jennifer Brown has got 2 cases for theft of services. The first one is 24 CR 5432A from August 2nd, 2024 from the Sugarcoat Nail Spa. And the second case is 24 CR 7176A, theft of services from Ruby's Kitchen at 1175 Peachtree Street from incident date October 21st, 2024. The third matter is a bench warrant for failure to appear in court, and that case number is 24 FTA 1878. Ms. Brown, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. Your attorney is Ms. Kim. And what is the recommend? And may I place you under oath for purposes of the plea? Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge? Yes or no?
I affirm. Yes, I affirm.
All right. Ms. Polk, what's the recommendation for Ms. Brown?
Your Honor, on position number 7, the state's recommendation is 12 months, serve 110 days, credit for time served 55 days. That's going to be from August 2nd to August 3rd of 2024 and December 2nd, 2024 until today. Balance probated, 40 hours of community service, stay away from Sugarcoat Nail Spa, located at 60 11th Street Northeast in an anti-theft course. On position 8, also theft of service, 12 months concurrent with case number the case number ending in 5432A, balance probated, stay away from Rumi's Kitchen, located at 1175 Peachtree Street in Atlanta. And on position 9, the state is entering a null pros upon the court's acceptance of this plea. That's all for the state. We would like to ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea.
Mr. Wiggino.
Ms. Brown, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, I haven't.
Have you understood what's going on in your cases?
I understood based on what was communicated. So yeah, I understand.
And are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yeah, based on what we communicated.
If you decide to move forward with this plea, are you doing so freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yeah.
Please speak up. I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm saying I understand, meaning, yeah.
So you understand, and hopefully your attorney has explained to you that if you enter a no contest and a guilty plea to these charges respectively, you will have to give up your constitutional rights to a trial in front of a judge or a jury. You will not get the chance to go back to court to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence that will be brought against you, to be able to present your arguments and defenses, and have the prosecution prove the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yeah, sure.
Did you go over these waiver of rights with your attorney?
we spoke regarding, okay, yeah, yeah. Spoke.
And do you want,
My answer is yeah. I mean,
how do you plead to theft of services from August 2nd, 2024 at the Sugarcoat Nail Spa? Is that the one she's entering a NOLO plea, Ms. Kim?
Yes,
So,
Your Honor.
Ms. Brown, how do you plead to theft of services at this nail salon?
guilty?
NOLO, you can get first one NOLO, and the second one will be guilty. One of the charge, you can have a NOLO.
So it's not either. It's not guilty.
Ms. Brown, you seem to be confused. Do you understand what we're
No,
doing today?
I'm answering the question. Your question was regarding the plea. So my response was not guilty.
Not guilty?
That was my response. You asked if I was ready to accept a guilty plea.
So you are saying that you are not guilty of the crime of theft of services at the Sugarcoat Nail Spa. Would that be correct?
What I'm saying is that I'm not guilty based on that I presented my card and the card declined and I was a returning customer with that particular function. However, if it's the difference of having to stay an additional amount of time, then as I communicated, I would be okay with this.
Ms. Brown, you have a right to remain silent.
Yeah. I'm gonna put, Ms. Kim, if you have a separate device, I think you better be on a face-to-face within a breakout. Maybe a phone conversation didn't quite adequately convey to her what is going on right now. So I'm gonna hold off on Ms. Brown until she absolutely understands what this plea hearing is about. Of course, she has a right to plead not guilty, and please explain to her what occurs after that. All right, so as soon as you get on your device, we'll put you into a breakout.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Murphy, you had position 20 and 27. That was with, and after your conversation with Ms. Desiano, the state is asking that Mr. Lambert's case be reset pending the decision from the district attorney's office. Do you have any comment?
Judge, we're fine with that. He's being held on other charges, so this next week, January 30th, we'll be fine.
All right, the case will be reset to January 30th, SAP calendar, pending the DA's decision.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have.
All right, sir. You have a good day. Thank you. Be safe. All right, Miss Grace, as soon as Miss Kim comes on, has she been admitted?
Not as of yet. Here she is now, Judge. I'll place him in the breakout room. Thank you.
Yeah, Miss Kim and ACDC. Francois, you're going to see a message to go into a breakout. All right. Mr. White, courtroom 2, do we have any clients on Mr. White?
Judge, I have an announcement for position 24 and 25. That's going to be a waiver, so he won't be needed.
24 and 25. Chase Durden is a waiver of arraignment and further notice for trial. Okay. Any other announcements? Okay.
Judge, I only have one other one, and that's position 2, and he will be probably on jail iPhone. So.
Okay. Everyone else in courtroom 2 is Miss Kim's?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Miss Kim, we're going to go into a breakout with ACDC, and we'll be in a brief recess. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thanks for the invitation.
Kim, your phone going off.
Okay, Ms. Kim, are we ready to resume with Ms. Brown?
Yeah.
And
It will be for the number 7, and then for position 8, it will be guilty.
all right, Ms. Brown, after your conversation with your attorney, do you have a better understanding of what we're doing right now?
I understand.
Okay, as I previously mentioned, and I want to repeat this, is that if you decide to plead guilty on or no contest to the charges, you would have to give up your constitutional rights to a trial. You will not get the opportunity to challenge your accuser or the evidence, or present your arguments and defenses, and the state won't have to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
I understand. Yeah, yeah.
And how do you plead to theft of service at the nail salon or the nail spa on August 2nd, 2024?
Not NOLA.
NOLA?
NOLA.
Okay. And how do you plead to theft of services at the Rumi's Kitchen on October 21st, 2024?
Stealing? Guilty?
I'll accept your pleas. For the first case, for the NOLA plea, your sentence is 12 months to serve 110 days. Credit for time served 55 days. I'm not quite sure how to help you with that. The rest of your sentence will be served on probation. You will report to the Fulton County Probation on Monday, and that date will be January 27th. And that your report date will be January 27, 2025, before 3 p.m. The Fulton County Probation Office is located at 132 Mitchell Street, and you need to make sure you report there before 3 p.m. While you're on probation, you will stay away from the Sugarcoat Nail Spa, and you will also enroll and complete an anti-theft class. You must enroll in this class within 60 days of being released. With regards to your guilty plea of theft of service at the Rumi's Kitchen, your sentence will be concurrent with the first case. You'll be required to stay away from the restaurant called the Rumi's Kitchen at 1175 Peachtree Street, and the anti-theft class that you complete will apply to this case as well. You will report to probation every month, and once you've completed the anti-theft class and you're up to date with your probation fees, I will allow your probation to be non-reporting. Your bench warrant will be null prost. Thank you. Do you understand, Ms. Brown?
I understand.
Okay. And are we good, Francois?
Yes, we're good. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, next case for Ms. Kim in courtroom 2.
We can go to position number 30 and 31, Brandon Miller.
This is a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
Okay. Brandon Michael Miller, I'm sorry, this was the negotiated plea, correct? Okay. Mr. Brandon Michael Miller is accused of giving false information to a law enforcement officer and giving a false name, address, or birth date to a law enforcement officer from May 29th, 2022, case number 22 CR 3405E. He has a bench warrant that was issued on March 13th, 2023, 25 FTA 116. Mr. Miller, you've been advised of your right. Your attorney is Ms. Kim. And for purposes of the plea, do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge? Repeat.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. Tessiano?
Yes, Your Honor, state's recommendation for both counts is time served 18 days, credit for time served 9 days. That's May 30th, 2022, and then January 16th, 2025 to today. We'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis and ID. Nothing further.
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
Miller, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
Have you understood what's going on in your cases?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And has it been explained to you, if you decide to enter this guilty plea, you would have to give up your constitutional right to a trial? You will not get the chance to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence brought against you, and the state won't have to carry its burden and prove the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to 2 counts of giving false information to an officer?
Guilty.
Your sentence for both charges is going to be time served, 18 days, credit for time served 9 days, and that concludes this case. The bench warrant will be dismissed.
Next we can go to position number 29, Mr. Martin.
And this is the non-negotiated plea, correct?
Yes.
Okay. This is State versus Gregory Martin. Mr. Martin is accused of theft by shoplifting under case 25 CR 175G. Alleged incident date is January 9th, 2025. Mr. Martin, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. Your attorney is Ms. Kim. And for purposes of this plea, may I place you under oath? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge? Repeat.
Yes.
This is going to be a non-negotiated plea, which means that the prosecution is going to give their recommendation as well as the alleged factual basis to support the recommendation. And your attorney will give me the defendant's recommendation for a possible sentence. I will consider the recommendations as well as your criminal record history, if there is one, and then I will let you know which option I'm going to select. I also have a third option of disregarding either recommendation and having this case scheduled for trial. So, Ms. Tessiano?
Yes, Your Honor. This case happened, I believe you were the judge on SCA. It was a incident that happened at the racetrack on January 9th of this year. The defendant was seen stealing 4 Snickers bars. The state's recommendation, this is his second conviction for shoplifting. He's pled guilty to, he pled NOLO to shoplifting in Atlanta Municipal Court in 24 CR 001447 on August 29th of 2024. So if he pleads guilty today, that would make it his second conviction. The state's recommendation is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated, stay away from that racetrack at 2250 Cam Creek Parkway, pay a $500 fine, and complete the anti-theft course. And Your Honor, the $500 fine is the statutory minimum required by the statute, citing OCGA 16814B1A upon conviction of a second offense for shoplifting, when the first offense is either a felony or misdemeanor. The defendant shall be fined not less than $500, and the fine shall not be suspended or probated. And then further on in the code section, it does clarify that the term conviction also includes a plea of NOLO. So at this point, the state's requesting essentially the statutory minimum in addition to the anti-theft course.
So I set a bond for $25 cash.
Yes.
4 Snicker bars. And you want to impose a $500 fine, which means that he would have to pay $50 cash to probation on top of his probation fees. Well, let's see what the defendants want to recommend.
We would like to recommend that there will be no probation. That's what my client wants to. So, and he does not have funds to pay for right now. He is a hip hop music artist, and he has not made that much money lately, but he graduated from high school in 1995. He has been here in Georgia for all his life. So he has a strong ties to the community. We would like to request for the balance.
What exactly are these strong ties to the community where nobody can come and pay $25 for him to bond out? What exactly are those ties? Ms. Kim?
No comment, Your Honor.
No comment. Okay.
I need boost stamps.
All right.
Some of that.
He's
And-
homeless.
And Mr. Martin has already spent how many days in jail for forced nickel bars?
15 days, Your Honor.
15 days. Okay.
We want the balance suspended, Your Honor.
Oh, understood. I am going to put him on probation and he'll need to do 25 hours of community service and do an anti-theft class. So I am amending the $500 fine, which is the statutory minimum, but I can amend it to community service. And he need to do 25 hours community service. And he'll need to do the anti-theft class because of the proximity of this last shoplifting conviction to the present one clearly shows that he has a high likelihood to reoffend. So is this something you'd like to consider, or he can enter a not guilty plea and hopefully make the $25 cash bond from his hip hop artist job?
You need to answer whether you have to take the plea or.
No idea? I can reset it to next week for him to give me a decision?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
Not taking the plea.
I'm sorry?
He's not taking the plea. He's homeless and he needs to put stamps.
All my people have died. Everybody that helped me died, and the people that's helped me, they out of town. So I can't take probation or none of that. I just got out of rehab.
All right. You have a right to it.
All right. Unfortunately, you've been charged with a theft charge and you were recently convicted of theft by shoplifting. So you need to be on probation to take this class, the anti-theft class. And I'm not requiring you to pay a fine, but you'll need to do community service. So if you don't want to go on probation and do these things, then I guess we'll enter a not guilty plea. Is that how you're pleading, Mr. Martin? Mr. Martin, I'm asking you a question. Are you pleading not guilty?
I'm not taking that what you give me.
I'm sorry, repeat.
May we reset this to next Tuesday, Your Honor?
No, it has to be next, I have a bunch of cases reset to the 28th, so I'm going to reset this to next Thursday. I'll see you then. Give me a decision by then. Thank you. Ms. Desiano, please remind me that, Ms. Lewis, that it'll be 25 hours of community service and anti-theft class. Okay, next
Yes,
case.
Judge.
Your Honor, we're waiting for, South to bring down their people.
Okay.
So we could be in recess.
Okay, so the only matters then I think we are waiting on is position 2, Isaac Barnes. You're still waiting to speak with him, Mr. White?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay. I'm just going to go over the calendar. Position 1, Adam Allen is a waiver of arraignment and further notice for trial. Position 2 is need to speak. Position 3 was null crossed. Position 4 was a plea. Position 5, Demario Brown, I believe we took the plea on that. Position 6 is null cross. Position 7 and 8 were pleas. Position 9 is a null cross. Position 10, 11, 12, and 13, Rashawn Brown, are reset to January 30th, SAP. Tisha Christian is reset to January 30th, SAP. Position 15, Tavius Clark, is released and further notice. Same announcement for position 16, released further notice. Dale Cobb is reset to January 30th, SAP. Position 18, 19, 20 are reset to January 30th, SAP. Position 21, Charlie Davis is reset to February 6th, SAP. Position 22 and 23, Imani Davis, both cases reset to February 6th, SAP. Position 24 and 25, Chase Durden, is a waiver of arraignment and further notice for trial. Position 26, Gordon Lambert, is reset to January 30th, SAP. That's for 26 and 27. 28, Reginald Lowe is reset to January 30th, SAP as well. 29, Gregory Martin, the non-negotiated plea has been disregarded. Case is reset to January 30th for SAP. All right. Position 30, Brendan Miller. Have we done that yet? We haven't done that
No,
yet.
we did that plea already, Judge.
We did, Your Honor.
Time served.
So that was a plea and
31 is not.
32, James Perry was released January 17th. 33 and 34, this is still need to speak.
Yes, Your Honor.
Position 35, Trishana Russ is reset to January 28th, which is next Tuesday, SAP. 36 and yeah, that's Townsend, and that's need to speak. 37, Lamonda Turner, that's 37 and 38, is reset to January 30th, SAP calendar. Okay.
Excuse me, Judge. I got a question on position 22 and 23. Davis, I have that note is reset to February the 4th.
That will,
Is that correct, Ms. Kim?
yes.
Is it February 4th? Maybe
Yes.
maybe I got it down. Yeah, you're correct. It's February 4th. I wrote it down based on the other one.
And also, y'all didn't already y'all max on next Thursday. Just
Okay.
let you know.
Oh, I've already reached my max. Okay. FYI, everyone. Okay. The add-on calendar, I think we had a couple of, could you tell me, Ms. Kim, what's the notice on Deshaun Waltz?
Hold on, please, Your Honor. I believe he was reset, but I just want to double check.
You have reset to January the 30th. That was the
Yes.
note that I had.
Yes, that's right, Your Honor.
Can we squeeze that in? Ms. Lewis,
I don't hear you, just you not
can
clear.
we squeeze that into next Tuesday, next Thursday?
You talking about Mr. Wall?
Yeah,
You want him on 1:30 or you want him the following week after that?
on 1:30.
Yeah, he's already on there.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
What's the announcement for Eugene Woods on the add-on positions 3, 4, 5, and 6?
I have to speak to him. I actually emailed to, well, he told me that he was incarcerated at Clayton County or Chatham County when there was a failure to appear. So I verified both counties and I received letters from them and the dates of the court missing. He was not incarcerated, so I think I have to talk to him about whether we are gonna take the plea or waiver of arraignment.
Okay, sounds fair. All right. So I guess we're just waiting for the other location at the jail to bring the other folks, so you and Mr. White can have a chance to speak to your client. my bench warrant calendar. Is Mr. Bartel available by any chance?
Oh, he was here and then he stepped out just for a second.
Okay, because I can go in with my 11 a.m. competency calendar. But is Jonathan Freeman joined the Zoom yet? No?
I think they're not gonna be on until 11 o'clock. If somebody can contact them, I guess, in advance and let them know that we can start early.
Yeah, I
I,
can.
I got a phone number on them, but I don't think I can dial it. I think most of them are long distance numbers.
I can call again. I left a message and I emailed. I have
Okay.
not responded, but I can try again.
All right, I'm either waiting for Mr. Bartel, who can do our competency calendar, or Mr. Freeman to do a bench warrant calendar, or anyone from the jail facility so we can continue with SAP. But until then, these are rare moments that we actually get to take a recess during SAP. So enjoy it, folks.
Thank you.
Judge, I'm gonna start sending you over the non process and the sentences I have already done.
All right, Ms. Kim, who do we have? I'm sorry, you're on mute.
Your Honor, I have to interview him just for, give me five.
What position is this?
This
What-
is position number 2.
Oh,
Number two.
That-
Okay, thank you.
White.
Mr. White, that would be Mr. White's client?
It is,
Yes.
Judge. I'll call the jail now.
Okay.
Getting a busy signal on both lines at the jail.
Deputy in courtroom 2, could you check the phone lines, please? Mr. White is trying to reach the courtroom.
Yeah, I just checked him in. He should be able to go through
I'm
now.
gonna show you what I got.
All right, try again, Mr. White, and then please mute courtroom 2 for Ms. Kim.
Your Honor, I have an announcement on position 2.
Yes, sir. For Isaac Barnes. What's the announcement?
Judge, that's going to be a waiver this morning. I'll get that filed.
All right. Isaac Barnes, position 2 is going to be a waiver of arraignment and further notice for trial. Did you have any other matters to speak with the defendants?
Judge, that was all that I had. If I can help out Ms. Kim, if she has anybody that she would like me to speak with, I can handle those cases. It's up to her.
Okay.
Okay, so can we talk to one of my clients?
Sure.
Yeah,
Mr. Townsend.
either Townsend or Putti. I have 2. So he can do Townsend, whoever is,
Go ahead, come
he can
on.
call someone.
Mr. White, you can call the courtroom for, Mr. Townsend, you're gonna pick up.
I'm sorry, what was the guy's name? I'll figure it out. Don't
Natavia Townsend.
Position 36. All right, folks. All right, the gentleman who just appeared on this phone, Rebo View.
Your Honor, position 36
Yes, sir.
has accepted the state's offer, will be a negotiated plea.
All right. All right. The gentleman in the white t-shirt who just appeared on Zoom, what's your name, please? Please unmute. gentleman in a white t-shirt or white top. What is your name?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. It's Jonathan Freeman.
All right. Mr. Freeman, you're here because you have a bench warrant against you for 2 cases. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say about those cases, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you have an attorney, or have you spoken to any of the attorneys from the Public Defender's Office?
I had one to email me this morning, but we have not spoken.
What is that attorney's name?
It's J. Kim.
Okay. Miss Kim is right now speaking to another client, but she will speak with you shortly. All right, so please hold.
Speak with him.
Oh, sure. Miss Kim, shall I just let Mr. White go ahead and speak with him? Miss Grace, could you place Mr. Tom White and Jonathan Freeman in a breakout, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right.
Your Honor, we are ready to proceed. He wants to take NOLO for the first charge, and second DUI, he wants to take guilty. Actually, I'll switch around. The first one guilty, second one NOLO.
I'm sorry, could you tell me which position numbers we're dealing with?
Okay. It is from 50 to 53, Eugene Woods.
Okay. Did you say Woods?
Yes. OODS.
Is that the add-on?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, add on number 3 to 6. Sorry about that.
So he's got a DUI from November 5th, 2022, and another DUI from September 19th, 2023. Which one is your client seeking to take a NOLO?
The second one.
From September 19th?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Desiano, do you have a response?
One moment, Your Honor. I just want to look at his history briefly. Your Honor, at this point, the state would object to a NOLO on the position. Did you say 3, Ms. Kim?
Actually 4.
On position 4, it looks like he has an additional DUI arrest from 2019 that there's no disposition listed for. It looks like it's in a municipal court. So at this point, the state's position is we object to a NOLO for the DUI.
All right. Anything to add, Ms. Kim?
Nothing further from defense. Oh, he wants to ask questions, even though I encourage him not to.
Of whom? The prosecutor or the court?
He wants to ask the court.
All right, Mr. Woods, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. Anything you choose to say can and will be used against you in the treatment of your case. So if you want to waive your right to remain silent, that would be a decision that you would have to make. You can consult with your attorney with regards to any repercussions.
Yes, I wanted to know, upon completion of these classes, if I take the plea deal, can one of these charges be dropped down to a reckless driving?
That would be a question for the prosecutor. Ms. Desiano?
No, Your Honor, we're not willing to reduce the charges at this time.
Mr. Freeman, please mute your screen. Any other questions, Mr. Woods?
No.
All right. Would you like to still move forward with this plea, or would you like to enter a not guilty and schedule the case for trial?
He wants to plead guilty, move forward.
All right. If these were the only 2 matters pending against Mr. Woods, I would consider the nolo contendere for a DUI. But given the fact that Mr. Woods has a DUI from 2019, and then this position 3, a DUI charge from 2022, and then a very soon thereafter, a third DUI charge from 2023, I believe that this poses a great risk, And the court, for purposes of the plea, the court is not inclined to accept a nolo contendere at this time. So, Mr. Woods, if you want to move forward with these pleas, it would have to be a guilty plea.
Now, from 2019, I don't have no charges from 2000 for DUI. That's open. That's what I don't understand.
Ms. Graciano or Ms. Hardy, can either one of you elaborate on his 2019 DUI? I don't have his GCIC.
Your Honor, it was in Fairburn Municipal Court. I'm trying to look it up right now. I'm not sure if they have an online docket.
Oh yeah, that case was closed out. Case was closed out.
And Your Honor, if I may, this case was on Tuesday's calendar. The defendant very plainly told the court that he was not agreeable to probation. He didn't think he should be sentenced to probation. He didn't want a fine. He didn't want community service. Judge Morrow kindly explained to him that if he pled guilty to 2 DUIs, that there were statutory minimums that were required as a part of his sentence, and that if he pled guilty, he would be sentenced to probation. Then he said, well, he was incarcerated during the time that he failed to appear in both of his court dates, and we received confirmation this morning that he, in fact, was not incarcerated during the times of his failure to appear. So at this point, certainly he can take a plea if he wants, but there is a concern that he's not willing to accept the terms of a sentence. So we just want to make sure it's clear that he understands that he will be on probation, as we discussed on Tuesday.
Oh yes, I had no problem with the terms of the plea. But what was discussed on Tuesday, she was waiting to receive confirmation from the jail. The jail sent one confirmation of September, but we just spoke to them just now, and they said the records department will not be in until next week. So I actually was locked up during the time of the court date that I missed. But I'm just trying to get this over with because I've been incarcerated for 4 months now. So I'm trying to move along with the situation. I had no problem with the conditions.
So, Mr. Woods, your attorney has gone over the conditions, the fines, the requirements for probation for both the cases. And do you have any questions about those?
No, my only question was, I was trying to receive credit for the time that I was incarcerated because I just got.
You're going to receive a credit of 29 days for the first case and 15 days for the second case. If you were incarcerated for other cases, that would have to be for those other cases.
All right, that's fine, Your Honor.
And Ms. Kim, does your client have any holds?
Nope, there's no other holds, Your Honor.
All right. And you've explained to him also the DDS license suspension issues?
18 months.
Okay, so he understands that his license will be suspended for 18 months for
Yes.
the time of conviction.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Woods, this is 23 CR 005051D, in which you are accused of driving under the influence of alcohol less safe, hit and run, failure of the driver to return or stop at the scene of the accident, and failure to obey traffic signs, signals, and markings from November 5th, 2022. Your second DUI case this morning is 24 CR 2972D, in which you were accused of driving under the influence of alcohol less safe, no proof of automobile insurance, and failure to obey traffic signs, signals, and markings from September 19, 2023. With regard, and you've got 2 bench warrants for failure to appear. The first one is 25 FTA 95, and the second one is 25 FTA 96. When we proceed with these plea hearings, if the pleas are accepted and completed, then the bench warrants will be dismissed and you'll be on probation for the other 2 cases. For purposes of the plea, may I place you under oath? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Kim. Ms. Desiano, what is the global offer for both these cases?
Yes, Your Honor, for position 3, the offer is for count 1, the DUI, 12 months served, 58 days, credit for time served, 29 days, from June 6th to June 19th of 2024, and then January 11th, 2025 to today, balance probated, complete an ADET, DUI risk reduction, pay a $300 fine, complete 40 hours of community service, and attend 1 victim impact panel. For count 2, the hit and run will be 12 months probation to run concurrent with count 1 and a $300 fine. And count 3 will be time served. For position 4, the DUI count 1 will be 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days from January 11th, 2025 to today, balance probated to run concurrent with position 3, complete an ADET, DUI risk reduction, pay a $600 fine, complete 240 hours of community service, attend a victim impact panel, and attend 2 AA meetings per week. And count 2, no proof of insurance will be time served. Count 3, failure to obey traffic signs will also be time served. We'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis and ID, and the state will enter a null pros in position 5 and 6, both failure to appears upon the defendant's entry and the court's acceptance of the pleas to positions 3 and 4, nothing further.
So from what I understand, for position number 1, he's required to pay, position number 3. In addition to the conditions, he's required to pay a total of a $600 fine and do 40 hours of community service. And for position number 4, is that an additional $600 fine and 240 hours of community service?
Yes, Your Honor.
Plus the AA meetings while on probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
For how long?
Between the probation period, the 11 months.
Ms. Kim, is that what your client anticipates?
Yes, we clearly discussed, but he is having a second thought again.
That's fine.
He says he's fine.
Right, as long as he understands, or if he agrees to this plea, his total fine for both cases before court costs and probation fees is going to be $1,200. And the community service requirements are 280 hours. His license is suspended for the period of 18 months in accordance with DDS rules. And in addition to that, he will be required to attend AA twice a week. And then the other conditions will be concurrent for both cases. Are these the numbers that you've accepted, Mr. Woods?
Yes.
All right. And Ms. Kim, do you so stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for both cases?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Woods, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, Your Honor.
And have you understood what's going on in your 4 cases today?
Yes.
And are you satisfied with your legal services?
Yes.
Have Ms. Kim and you gone over your waiver of constitutional rights with regards to these pleas?
Yes.
And have you understood what she's explained to you with regards to your waiver of rights?
Yes.
And Mr. Woods, after you have had your discussions with your attorney and gone over the details of the plea, are you prepared to enter these pleas freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes.
You understand that this would be 2 counts of DUI convictions on your criminal history record.
Yeah.
And you understand that the Department of Driver Services is authorized to suspend your driver's license and any driving privileges for a period of 1.5 years from the date of conviction.
Yes.
And you also understand that you will be reporting to probation every month. In addition to your conditions, you're required to abstain from all illegal drugs and alcoholic beverages. You're not allowed to drink or consume any of these substances.
Yeah.
All right. Just to understand, Mr. Woods, if you decide to enter this plea, you would have to give up your right to a trial before a judge or a jury. You will not get the opportunity to go back to court, to face your accusers, challenge the evidence that will be presented against you, be able to help have your attorney assist you to present your defenses, arguments, and any mitigating factors. And also, the state would not have to carry its burden and prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes.
There is no right to appeal from a negotiated plea. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
And a DUI conviction on your record will not only impair your driving privileges, but it also could impair your job, any other open cases you may have, your residency if applicable. Are you still prepared to move forward with this plea?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
With regards to position number 3, how do you plead to driving under the influence of alcohol, hit and run, and failure to obey traffic signs, signals, and markings?
Guilty.
Repeat.
Guilty.
For count 1, your sentence is 12 months to serve 58 days, credit for time served 29 days. The balance will be on probation. If you have no other holds, you will report to the Fulton County Probation Office on Monday, January 27th before 3 p.m. The probation office is located at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. While you're on probation, you will complete an alcohol and drug evaluation and submit yourself to any treatment or counseling as required at your expense. And this evaluation must take place within 30 days of being released. You will come.
Within 30 days?
Yes, sir.
Well, I have to do.
This is the court's mandate. It is an alcohol and drug evaluation. So if there's any requirement that you require treatment for any kind of substance abuse or addiction, you would need to submit to that treatment. You are to complete a risk reduction program, and you can complete that during the course of your probation term. You are to pay a $300 fine for the DUI charge and complete 40 hours of voluntary community service at any nonprofit agency that's not a church and not a school. And you must complete your community service at a minimum rate of 5 hours per month for this particular charge. For the hit and run, count 2. Oh, sorry, you're also to attend 1 victim impact panel. For count 2, the hit and run, your sentence is 12 months to be served concurrently with count 1 with an additional $300 fine. And for count 3, the sentence is time served, which will be to serve 58 days, credit for time served 29 days. With regards to position number 4, how do you plead to driving under the influence of alcohol less safe from September 19th, 2023? And in addition to that, no proof of insurance and failure to obey traffic signs, signals, and markings.
Guilty.
For the DUI, your sentence is going to be 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days. Balance prorated. Again, for this case, you report to probation on Monday before 3 p.m. The alcohol and drug evaluation, the risk reduction, those would be concurrent as in the first case. So those requirements can be applied to both cases. In addition, you will have to pay a fine of $600 and complete 240 hours of community service. And you're to attend one victim impact panel, and that would be concurrent to the first case. But in addition, you would have to attend 2 AA meetings a week. So while you're on probation, you are to enroll in a qualified AA meeting program, and you are to attend 2 meetings a week minimum. Understood?
Yes. Now, for Some,
So in total, your obligation for community service is going to be 280 hours for both cases, and your fine is going to be $1,200 for both cases. Given this total, you will be required to make a minimum payment of $120 towards your fine each month. And for your community service, you'll be required to complete a minimum of 30 hours per month. Do you understand, sir?
Yeah.
And you must complete your community service and make these minimum payments each month to your probation officer. The other conditions you can complete during the term of your probation. At all times, you are not to consume any alcoholic beverages and not to consume any illegal drugs. You will be subject to random screens by probation. For no proof of insurance, that's going to be time served to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days. And for failure to obey traffic signs, signals, and markings, that's time served to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days. In addition to that, the court will order that in accordance with the Department of Driver Services, your license or driving privileges are suspended for a period of 18 months to be calculated from today. You are eligible for reinstatement after the 18 months have concluded. Any questions, Ms. Kidd?
No question from defense, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Woods, any questions?
can I get time credited from the time I did towards some of these?
I've given you credit for 30 days on position 4, and you've been given credit for 58 days on position 3.
All right, thank you.
All right. And positions 5 and 6 will be null crossed. Thank you. Mr. White, you had another plea for a case in court.
Yes, Your Honor.
And who was that, please?
It was position 36, Townsend.
Okay. This is State versus Nader Avian Townsend, case number 25 CR 155E. Mr. Townsend's accused of simple battery, criminal trespass, interference with possession, and another count of criminal trespass from January 8th, 2025. Now, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney will be Mr. Tom White. Was he present in the room when the rights were being read?
Yes.
I believe it's the second group, Judge. Yes.
Okay. All right. Then, Mr. Townsend, please raise your right hand for purposes of the plea. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge? You need to say yes or no, sir.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Tassiano, what are the plea recommendations for Mr. Townsend?
Yes, Your Honor, for count 1, simple battery, 12 months served, 30 days, credit for time served, 15 days from January 9th, 2025 to today, balance probated, no further contact with Marquez Davis, stay away from the Family Dollar at 565 Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard Southwest, complete 8 weeks of anger management and 40 hours of community service, and no firearms. And counts 2 and 3 are 12 months probation to run concurrent with count 1. We have been in touch with Mr. Davis. He's in agreement with the plea offer. We'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID for purposes of the plea. And Your Honor, he may be on Zoom if you can sound for him. Thank you.
Mr. Marquez Davis, if you're on Zoom, this is the time to unmute and start your video. I think I don't have someone by that name. All right, Mr. White, do you so stipulate to the factors, and does your client accept these terms?
Yes, Your Honor. We do stipulate, and he is asked you to accept the plea as negotiated. We just would ask that you waive 3 months of probation fees so he can get back on his feet. He doesn't have any income right now, and he's going to have to pay for the classes and the probation fees eventually. So
I will waive probation fees up to and through the end of March 31st, 2025, and then he'll start paying probation fees from April 1st, 2025 onwards. All right, Mr. Thompson, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
And have you understood what's going on in your case?
Yes, ma'am.
Repeat.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the legal services you've received?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you, after you've discussed your case with Mr. White, your attorney, are you prepared to enter this plea freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes, ma'am.
Has it been explained to you that if you enter a plea to these charges, you would have to give up your constitutional right to a trial? You will not be able to go back to court, have the assistance of counsel to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence brought against you, present your arguments and defenses, and have the state prove the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to simple battery, criminal trespass, interference with possession, and a third count of criminal trespass?
Ma'am.
How do you plead, sir?
Guilty. Guilty.
I'll accept your guilty plea. Counts 2 and 3 will be 12 months probation concurrent with count 1. For count 1, simple battery, your sentence is 12 months to serve 30 days. Credit for time served 15 days. The remainder of the time you'll be on probation. Mr. White, does he have any holes?
Not that we're aware of, Judge.
Okay. If you have no holes, then you'll be released within 24 hours, but you must report to the Fulton County Probation Office on Monday, January 27th before 3 p.m. The probation office is located at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. While you're on probation, you are to stay away from the Family Dollar Store at 565 Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard in Atlanta, Georgia. That means you stay 200 yards away from that location. You are to have no contact, with Mr. Marquez Davis. You are to stay 200 yards away from him and not communicate with him in any way, form, or manner. While you are on probation, your probation fees shall be waived up to and including March 31st, 2025, and then you will start paying probation fees from April 1st, 2025 onwards. You will enroll and complete 8 anger management classes, and you must enroll in those classes within 60 days from today. You're also to complete 40 hours of voluntary community service with any nonprofit agency that's not a church and not a school, and you must complete the community service at a minimum rate of 5 hours per month. At all times, you're not allowed to own, possess, or have any firearms within your possession. That concludes your sentence. Thank you. All right. Moving on to Jonathan Freeman. We keep getting messages about Mr. Cobb. Miss Gloria, if you want to put on your video and unmute your screen.
Your Honor, Mr. Cobb was reset.
Yeah, I do. Miss Gloria?
Yes, ma'am.
The attorney for Mr. Cobb has continued his case again to January 30th, 2025 at 9 a.m.
Okay, is it any way his lawyer can call me? I'm concerned about him because he take medication and I don't know if he been
What's
getting
your number?
444685835.
Okay. Mr. White, do you have that number?
I do now, Judge.
All right. Public Defense Attorney, Mr. Tom White.
He'll call me. All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're free to go, Ms. Gloria. Thank you. She was here last week also inquiring about this case. All right, moving on to Mr. Freeman. Mr. Freeman has 2 matters before the court in which bench warrants have been issued as a result of his failure to appear. Mr. Freeman, you advised you of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Mr. Tom White. Your case numbers are 24 CR 7590C, accused of simple battery family violence involving alleged victim Brittany Chambers. And the second case is 24 CR, case number 7591C, in which you're accused of escape and simple battery family violence, again involving Brittany Chambers, in which you were, for both cases, you were given a signature bond through pretrial services. And you were required to stay away from Brittany Chambers and also stay away from where she lives, which was 1019 Washington Street.
Yes.
So it looks like notice was sent to 1019 Washington Street. I'm assuming Mr. Freeman wasn't there since he was required to stay away and update us with his new address. So
That's
yes,
correct.
go ahead.
Judge, we do have a new address for him. There was issues with attempting to get his mail from while he was setting up a new address. As soon as pretrial notified him that he'd missed his court date, he got in contact with the clerk's office and started trying to change the address. The first couple of days that he tried, they kept telling him the files were not back up in the clerk's office, which means they were probably still down in division. But we do, just to make, he says he's changed it, but we want to make sure that they have the new address.
All right.
What is the new address?
Ms. Lewis, I don't have the Plaza Lane address on.
No, it's not. I'm getting ready to update it. I just want to clarify that is what it is. And it is an apartment 79.
That's correct.
And I'm so sorry. What was the reason the address wasn't updated after he was released? Because the notice went out on December 20th.
Judge, because he hadn't established a new address until he was evicted from an address on the 13th and had not established an address. It took him some time to settle. So, and it looked like right during the crossover period when the notice went out.
Okay. Ms. Desiano?
Your Honor, it actually, from what I'm seeing, the address that it was sent to was neither of those addresses. It was 1003 Washington Street, which sounds like that was the completely wrong address. And it's a notice issue. It sounds like it's resolved now. So we have no objection to setting aside. He's also got no failure to appears in his criminal history.
All right. Mr. Freeman, we will set aside the bench warrant in both cases. Your original bond is reinstated and you're required to continue reporting to pretrial services. Every time that you change your address, the first folks that should find out is the clerk of court, and you have to come down and update your address in writing. Telling pretrial is not sufficient. Telling a bonding company is not sufficient. Telling the United States Postal Service is not sufficient. You are required to come down to court and provide a change of address immediately so that this doesn't occur again. If this occurs again in the future, the likelihood of having your bench warrant set aside becomes even smaller.
He understands, Judge.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. White, if you could submit a proposed order to set aside the bench warrant in both cases and to reinstate his signature bond pretrial. Thank you.
Judge, we also have one more person on the DV calendar. Should be 3. It should have been 2 defendants. I have a person named Kendall Wilson. I don't know if they're on the line or not.
When
Mr.
did that
free to
go
go?
out? I didn't see that one.
Yeah, we only had Mr. Freeman on our calendar.
The only
That's
one I had
correct.
was
That's
Mr.
the only
Freeman as
person
well.
I saw on the calendar as well.
Well, I have 3. I don't know. I have another one that has Kendall Wilson, case number 24 CR 0000818FS in Frank. It was.
Well, we'll wait till 11 to see whether he shows up. In the meantime, I have my 11 o'clock competency calendar. Why don't we address who do we have in courtroom 2 right now? Mr. Freeman, you're free to leave the Zoom.
And Your Honor, a brief announcement on position It's the one we had with Mr. Murphy, positions 26 and 27. The state's actually entering a null pros in both of those cases. These cases are duplicates with cases in Superior Court.
That was 26 and 27?
Yes, Your Honor. The original announcement was a reset, but I'm submitting a null pros for both of those positions momentarily.
Text Mr. Murphy and let him know so that,
I have, Your Honor.
all right, appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Forum 2, who do we have, please?
We have position number 2, Mr. Barnes.
Okay. This is State versus Isaac
We've
Barnes.
already waived,
Yeah.
Judge, we've already waived Mr. Barnes. Yeah.
All right. Mr. Barnes, your attorney has entered a not guilty plea and your case is going to be reset for trial.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Miss Grace, we can remove Miss Gloria from the Zoom. And I see a couple more people in courtroom 2. Is there anyone else I need to address? I don't know if Miss Kim is still talking to anyone.
Yeah, Ms. Kim, she's interviewing somebody right now.
Okay. Is
And
Mr.
have we, oh, apologies, Your Honor. I was just trying to see if we'd address position 33, 34.
No, those were the ones that Miss Kim needs to speak with the client.
Yeah, she's speaking with him as we speak now.
That's what I thought. Is Mr. Bartel available by any chance? And if he can get on a separate device, I can always do my 11 a.m. No?
He's right, he's coming.
Oh. Hey, Mr. Bartel, good morning.
Good morning, Judge. How are you? I'm not signed on, but I can sign on with my laptop and go to another area.
Yeah, I think that would be best considering that courtroom 2 is being used to interview clients.
Okay, we'll do.
All right, thank you very much. So Ms. Falk will go into a breakout with Mr. Bartel as soon as he signs on. And then anyone else who will be joining us in the competency breakout other than Ms. Falk and myself and Ms. Lewis? Okay, and then at 11 o'clock, if Kendall Wilson appears, we can have him speak to Mr. White or Ms. Kim, whoever's available. All right. Oh, Ms. Kasha, is that you? Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, if you want to join Mr. Bartel on his. Okay. All right, we'll just be in a brief recess until Mr. Bartel signs on. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Bartel, like to unmute and start your video, and also for Kasha. Ms. Grace, could you place us in a breakout room, please?
Yes.
Myself, Ms. Falk, Mr. Bartel,
Yes.
Yes.
Kasha, do I need to place you in separately, or are you gonna sit with Mr. Bartel?
It's here with Mr. Bartel.
Okay.
Trying to make enough space here, Judge. This is less than ideal, but we'll make it work.
I can see you. I can hear you. That's good. Thank you,
Okay.
Miss. Okay. We good, Miss Grace, if you want to put us in a breakout?
Okay, Judge.
Yeah, I'm sitting side saddle, but it'll work.
Your Honor, are you still on? If we could take this one plea before you go into the breakout, Ms. Kim says she's ready to take her plea.
Okay. Which case is that?
This is Mr. Petty Jean, 33 and 34.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Miss Grace, if you want to put Mr. Bartel into the breakout,
Yeah.
that would be fine too. I think this is Miss Desiano's case, yes?
Yes.
All right. And if you want to put Miss Falk in the breakout also, that would be fine too.
Okay, will do, Judge.
Thank you. This is Sean Leonard Petit Jean, case 23 CR 7271C, accused of simple assault and willful obstruction of an officer from November 22nd, 2023. Mr. Petit Jean has also got a bench warrant from March 14th, 2024 under case number 25 FTA 105. Sir, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. Your attorney is Ms. Kim. And for purposes of the plea, may I place you under oath? Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
Thank you. Ms. Tessiano, what's the recommendation for Mr. Petit?
Yes, Your Honor, for count one, the simple assault, 12 months served, 26 days, credit for time served, 13 days from November 22nd to November 23rd of 2023, and then January 15th, 2025 to today, balance probated, no further contact with Angela Moran, stay away from 3000 Old Alabama Road, which is a Kroger, and complete 8 weeks of anger management. For count two, the obstruction will be 12 months probation to run concurrent with count one, and a $300 fine or 30 hours of community service. And we'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis and ID for purposes of the plea. And if Your Honor can sound for Miss Angela Moran. Thank you.
Miss Moran, I don't see anyone on Zoom by that name or anyone who's not with the courthouse. Okay. Miss Kim, do you so stipulate?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
And which option has your client selected?
$300 fine.
Okay. Mr. Petit, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
And have you understood what's going on in your cases?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you entering this plea freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes, ma'am.
Has it been explained to you that if you decide to enter this plea, you would have to give up your constitutional right to a trial in front of a judge or a jury? You will not have the opportunity to go back to court, to be able to confront your accuser, have the assistance of counsel to challenge the evidence brought against you, present your own defenses and arguments, and have the state prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to waive these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to one count of simple assault and one count of willful obstruction of an officer?
Guilty.
On the simple assault, your sentence is 12 months to serve 26 days, credit for time served 13 days. The balance will be served on probation. You will report to the probation office on Monday, January 27th before 3 p.m. And the probation office is located at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. While you're on probation, you will stay away from the Kroger at 3,000 Old Alabama Road in, I think that's in Alpharetta, Georgia. And you are to have no contact with Angela Moran. You have to stay 200 yards away from Mr. Moran and not communicate with her in any way, form, or manner. You're also to enroll in a anger management program of 8 weekly classes. You must enroll in those classes within 60 days of being released, and you must attend all 8 classes without missing or skipping any of these classes. For count 2, your probation will be 12 months probation concurrent with count 1 with an addition of a $300 fine. You will pay the fine of $300 at a minimum rate of $30 per month in addition to your probation fees. As long as you complete your 8 weeks of anger management classes and you pay off your $300 fine and you are up to date with all probation fees and court costs, then your probation may be non-reporting. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. I believe that concludes the cases for you, Ms. Kim.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Go ahead and have a seat.
Ms. Desiano, I believe that also concludes the cases for you.
Yes, Judge, thank you.
All right. Do y'all need me to go over the calendars again? But no? We good, Ms. Desiano? All right. In that case, Ms. Grace, could you place me and
Yes, Judge.
Louis in a breakup? Thank you. All right, Ms. Lewis, was Wilson or Kendall Wilson given notice?
I don't see that. I think somebody placed that individual on the calendar after the calendar was sent out prior to the court date. I don't have no notes. Apparently, it looks like this person,
This was a DB reset from January 17th. The date is listed on the notice, January 23rd, 2025 at 11 a.m. And
yeah, I think somebody put this on the calendar after we had already had the calendar set and sent out after the fact. I
we
can
can
just,
reset it to January 30th. And
yeah, I could put it back on the 30th calendar if the person shows up.
Okay.
That's the best thing I could do. Because it didn't even come out of they didn't send a revised calendar out, so that's fine.
All right, just if you reach this Miss Kendall Wilson, please let her know that the warrant is still active and pending. So stay out of trouble and we'll see her or him next week.
Okay, I can do.
Did you want me to go over the calendars? Are we good?
Yeah, this just a clarification on some things.
All right,
I
which one?
just wanna make sure I'm good. The add-on calendar, we have position 1 and 2 that's reset for next Thursday. And your Thursday calendar is pretty packed.
Yeah, Deshaun Walls is reset to January 30th. And then those were the 2 cases for that one individual. And then the rest of it was Mr. Woods who took a plea and the bench warrants were null prost. So it's really one person being added on from the add-on.
Yeah. I think that was that way.
And we took that plea in Petit Jean.
I think only thing was changed that Mr. Dennis Murphy cases are null pros now.
Correct. So those that don't have to be.
And then we set Mr. Martin back to January the 30th.
Correct.
And thanks. And 33 took a plea. And I think that's it. 36 took a plea. So that's it. Everybody else is reset or waiver arraignment.
Okay, Miss Shanti J, what about the DB bench warrant? Freeman's bench warrant.
That's supposed to be administrated by Mr. White. I think I already sent that off into stuff already.
Mr. White will submit the order setting aside the bench warrants for Freeman.
Yeah, I think he did already.
All right.
To you already.
Anything else, folks? We good? All right. Everyone survived the snowstorm or the ice storm or whatever they call that on Tuesday. The big chill, the Atlanta chill. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. Stay warm and I think it'll get better soon. So
All right, Judge. I already sent some stuff already to you. I'm continuing sending some more stuff.
all right. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
see you, everybody.